Hey everyone, this is Dylan coming back with another Final Fantasy Fridays on a Sunday, actually. We're bringing you this content a couple days late, but it's going to be an extra video. This is going to be my deck profile for the recent deck I played in my game-winning, or my round-winning, rather, game matched against Eric Limerick, I believe, or Limerick, but I'm pretty sure it's Limerick on Discord. We were playing a awesome few rounds. Over the Cure series round 3. He was playing a pretty low to the ground, hasty Final Fantasy VII Fire Earth deck, and kind of, man, he kicked me in the teeth. The first game, I was just on the back foot the entire time. I did not feel confident in my ability to win, to pull a game 2 or game 3. But I guess that goes to show you if when the beauty of playing best of 3 events is that you can see cards that kind of are chinks in your opponent's armor and silver bullets. And spoiler alert, Braska's Final Aeon is one of them. So I was playing that card at 3, and I was playing some awesome ways to haste him in and get it in there. I just wanted to do a quick shout out to our Patreons and everybody who followed me over my Twitch on Strawberry Senpai on Twitch TV. For watching our games. I'm really happy with how these have been going. Without further ado, let's get right into the deck profile video. And let's hop right into it. This is the deck that I ran against Eric today in the Cure Series 2, Round 3. There's a lot of numbers there. So I played this deck, Fire Ice. I'm just calling it Fire Ice No Monsters because this is actually an accidental mulligan deck. I wanted to play this list, which we'll go over real quick, but I couldn't find any 1 CP goblins anywhere. A few friends had offered to borrow me some, but I was just like, I'm really busy, I need to get homework done. So I did some quick deck building changes and brought it into the other list. But my main priority in this list was to outvalue my opponent and kind of be aggressive. Now, as you can see, we got a big boss monster in Braska's Final Aeon, 7-drop 10k. If you're playing Final Fantasy TCG, you probably know what he does. But it's basically when he attacks or is chosen by your opponent's abilities, choose a forward, deal at 10k, it can't be reduced. It's pretty strong. It's much stronger if, as soon as he enters the field, he has haste with Belias the Gigas, Goblin, or Sage, and he can deal 10k on the swing, and then no matter what, they have to answer him like right there. So you're getting the 10k on entry, and if he's ever chosen, he's basically going to, you're guaranteeing that you're going to get some value off of him if you haste him in, and you're getting a little extra too. So that's why you'll see that I've got a Monster Searcher in this variant, and a couple goblins, and I've got Sidwaf to return goblins. Goblins are the only monsters in this deck, because all I was worried about was getting Braska's Final Aeon hasted. There are other cards in the deck that are fine to haste too, like Genesis or Locke, which are great, but Braska's was the real target. At the end of the day, haste is, I believe, the best keyword in the game, so, you know, obviously if you get in there, you can surprise people with damage and such. But yeah, so, I mean, Braska's, play it for 7 CP, crack a goblin if it's already on the field, draw a card, give him haste, attack. Belias on him, draw a card, give him haste, attack. Sage, play it, you built a backup, you gave Braska haste, you attack, you kill something. It's a pretty easy, honestly, that's a pretty easy line to see. And I feel like it's a little easier in this variant. But I couldn't find my goblins, so I took the 2 goblins out, Nagmalada and Sidwaf, and went to this variant, which is, I can't say if it's any stronger. I don't feel like it's stronger. But it did well, right? I still did the thing where I, if you watched the VOD of our gameplay, which was awesome, it was such a fun game, such fun 3 games. I hasted Braska's Final Aeon, and so game 2 and 3, I won off the back of this guy, which I say with no shame, because he's crazy, and if you can haste him in, he's even better. So I used him and Sage primarily to get some haste off of him. Shadow overperformed, though. Shadow was super good. Coming down, being a forward that ends up kind of... it's not too terribly much of a threat, but it's pressure, and it builds backups, which is kind of what this deck wants to do. So you kind of want to get to 3 backups as fast as you can, because then your Braska feels better to play, your Sephiroth feels better to play. You can play multiple forwards a turn where you're playing like a Genesis, an Terra, and a Zidane in the same turn. Or, you're playing a 4 CP by tapping 2 and then tap 1 and discard a card for one of your 3 CPs, or just discard 1 card for Zidane. Zidane also performed really, really well. If you can surprise your opponent with their pants down, I mean, he's 2 CP for a point of damage, a kill. Man, it's really good. He's felt really, really strong. So yeah, that's kind of the deck. You're obviously doing the things that Fire Ice does, where you've got the 6 package. So you've got Locke, Celeste. I didn't get to use Celeste at all. Terra was really strong with Glacia and Zalera. She felt really good. Glacia deleted a forward that was out of its damage range due to Terra. I feel like I kind of misplayed a bit that game when I could have Glacia'd first, killing a 7k and freezing something, and then played Terra to get Glacia back into my hand to do it again the next turn. Because I was really on the... If you look at my game 2, I won on 6 points of damage. It was so close. And I really just needed to slow him down. That got me the game. And normally, this deck is kind of the mid-range aggressor. But a lot of people build Fire Ice to be like a hard aggression, which I feel like Celeste fits that build pretty well. Locke and Genesis are obviously aggressive cards. But I built it a little more mid-rangey, a little more control-y. And you're playing 5 Sephiroths, Braskas, which are pretty expensive. So these aren't... I wouldn't say these are fast, aggressive cards. You can use Sephiroth aggressively, but generally you get punished for it because there's just a lot of things that deal 8k, like a cheap Zidane. Cards that felt crazy good were Princess Sarah. She's awesome. Helped me color fixing. She's so efficient. I didn't use her buff at all, but it felt really nice to have that option available. There was a turn where he played a 9k first strike, red 13, that I had played Locke the turn before, and I was like, I had Princess Sarah and Edgar, and I was like, wow, I can buff Locke to plus 2k to 9k this turn, because she was ice, if I need a blocker, but it just wasn't in the cards, so I Belias to give him first strike just to draw a card, and that's actually the turn where it came back to me, is I blocked with Locke, draw a card, drew another Locke, so I could play a Locke, make him discard, and just develop stuff and stabilize while slowing him down. That was the name of the game against him. Played Kate Sith once, didn't feel too good, but there are matches where Kate Sith is going to feel crazy. The match I played it against him was I removed a Tifa from his hand, which is a 2 CP haste 4k Tifa, just a baby, and he already had one on the field, so it was like, okay, I basically made his hand better. But you get knowledge, and Kate Sith can be really, really strong in the matches where people are pocketing BFAs or Martian Ritzes, obviously, and Zalera is also incredibly good in those matches. So, yeah, this is kind of my deck profile. It felt really strong. I feel like Sephiroth, a couple Dark Sephiroth is the way to play a Fire Ice right now if you're playing the 7 CP, because like either you're getting Octaslashes or you're getting Shadow Flares, and both of which win games. Octaslash you're going to win games off of easily if you both get to 5. Like the grindy games that we were playing, I could have easily Octaslashed if I had him on the field and another. Like, we sat on such high damage for a long time. And, stripping 2 cards from your opponent's hand and dull freezing something, obviously that's good. Yeah, so the games were really good. They were a lot of fun. Eric's an awesome player. He's newer, and he really put me through the ringer. And he's playing a deck that didn't run many legends at all. So if you're looking for an awesome entry-level deck, I'm pretty sure he just starter deck evolved it where he added a few extra cards because I didn't see many like legendary threatening cards in it. He just did a lot of cards with a lot of good synergy and burning, and it was efficient and hasty. And I mean, it took me to 6 damage and won game 1. It honestly, I didn't think I was going to win game 3. So hit him up. He swapped my Twitch. I'll see if I can get his information. Watch the video. Maybe build yourself. Maybe see what he did. Build some. I'll ask him to see if I can get his deck profile too. It was a really good match. If I were to change anything, I'd probably pop Scholar out. That it just didn't feel impactful. Pop Scholar out. Maybe throw another EX burst. Maybe play 2 the Emperor. Celeste. I don't know. Celeste, like, I love Celeste in theory, but I just don't feel like she did a lot. You're definitely, if there's weaknesses this deck has, is you are not going to win on EX bursts. You don't have a lot. The ones you have are good. You know, Terra gets you a summon. Kuja gets you something. Kuja dull freezes to help you stabilize a bit. Belias is obviously a good EX burst and drawing you a card that's always good and possibly staving off some extra damage. But the Emperor and Kikaitis honestly did nothing. They're too situational for the list. Probably take Kikaitis out to swap it for something that's a little more impactful. But yeah, this is the list. It performed great as if you watch the videos, and I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Metamaniacs, who we produce content for. Hit us up on Facebook, Patreon, and hit me up with a follow on Twitch, Strawberry Senpai. Big shout out to Jason Toro for being an incredible human being and loving the Final Fantasy TCG. And big shout out for you guys for subbing to us on YouTube and just giving us nothing but love. I don't think I've gotten any negative comments so far from any of you, which maybe you're being a little too nice. But no, I've been feeling the love and I appreciate it. I hope that I can. So right now I'm 2-1 in the Cure series. I lost my second game. Hopefully I can continue winning for you guys and making awesome content. Because who doesn't like games that go down to round 3 and it's a nail biter the entire time. So check that out. It's an awesome VOD. It's probably my favorite VOD that I've put out in a long time because you don't know where it's going. And I just clutched it, on the skin of my teeth, throwing down Braskas and throwing down things that just survive for one more turn and one more turn in game 2. It was a lot of fun. Appreciate it, everyone. Love you guys. Dillan out.